Hey guys, it's Jared the Random, and I'm starting a YouTube channel. I'm going to be talking about ingredients that are in food, and most ingredients I'm going to be talking about more likely are poisonous or dangerous to us that we consume on a daily basis and we don't even know about, or most of us don't even care if we do know. But no, I want to go through individually a ingredient maybe once a week or something, and go into it a little bit in detail, and maybe even give give a little goal to accomplish, maybe like giving it up for a week or something. But now I want to talk about high fructose corn syrup this week and about the dangers of it. And I want to start in Wikipedia about high fructose corn syrup. It says high fructose corn syrup, also called glucose fructose, is a sweetener made from cornstarch and has been processed by glucose isomerase to convert some of its glucose into fructose. HFCS, which is high fructose corn syrup, was first marketed in the early 1970s by the Clinton Corn Processing Company together with the Japanese Agency of Industrial Science and Technology, where the enzyme was discovered in 1965. Now, as a sweetener, high fructose corn syrup is often compared to granulated sugar, but manufacturing advantages of high fructose corn syrup over sugar includes that it is easier to handle and more cost effective. Although there is a debate concerning whether high fructose corn syrup presents greater health risk than other sweeteners, manufacturing and safety concerns have been dismissed, including declaration by the United States Food and Drug Administration, or the FDA, that high fructose corn syrup is a safe ingredient food for beverage manufacturing. Now, I find that interesting because it talks about how there was concerns that high fructose corn syrup had great risk than any other sweetener. It had greater risk than any other sweetener, but yet the safety concerns were dismissed by the FDA, and they came out and said that it's safe for food consumption and beverage consumption. And then it says down here, apart from the comparisons between high fructose corn syrup and table sugar, there is some evidence that overconsuming of added sugar in any form, including high fructose corn syrup, is a major health problem, especially for onset of obesity. Consuming added sugars, particularly as a sweetened soft drinks, is strongly linked to weight gain. But it's completely safe. Just remember that. Your FDA, which is federal, federal administration, they say that it's safe. It's safe for us to consume. But it's strongly linked to weight gain. And it says recommended that people limit their consumption to added sugars to 10% of calories, but experts say that typical consumption of empty calories in the United States is nearly twice that level. Now remember, empty calories is absolutely no nutrition. No nutrition at all. So all this corn syrup or high fructose corn syrup that they're putting in our drinks and our food is benefiting us in no way. But not only is it benefiting us in no way, it's also making people obese, and we'll be getting into it more here in a little bit, but it also causes diabetes. There's so many problems with it, all right? And I just think it's crazy how the FDA says it's okay, yet it says it's that sweetened soft drinks is strongly linked to weight gain. But I guess that doesn't matter. And then it talks about overconsumption of added sugar in any form, including high fructose corn syrup. Well, here's an interesting idea. Well, not an idea, actually. Let's see. Where's it at? Not you. Right here. Dunkin' Donuts, okay? How many grams of sugar do you actually think is in a Dunkin' Donut? So because we're talking about that high fructose corn syrup or any sweetener. Any added sugar is bad for you. Okay? So, but yet high fructose corn syrup is completely, like, that was questionable, like that's the worst of all sweeteners. So let's look at this. So think about this. Dunkin' Donuts, and one of theirs, this is a glazed donut, but in one of their donuts is 12 grams of sugar. Mind-blowing. But here's the thing. A lot of people want to stay away from donuts. Most people, they don't want to eat donuts, or they'll stay away from donuts, but they'll drink more pop. Why? Because they say donuts are more unhealthy and they're more fattening. Yet this here it says that it has 12 grams of sugar. Well, I'm about ready to get into how many grams of sugar in pop, the main, like the top pop brands. Well, let's look at Huffington Post. It talks about American soda consumption. Half of us drink it every day, study says. Now it says that the health hazards of drinking sugar-sweetened beverages like sodas and sugary fruit drinks is no secret. In fact, Yale University, okay, so we're talking about Yale, which is a high university. Rudd Center for Food Policy and Obesity study found that a majority of Americans understood that soda is bad for them. So people aren't ignorant. They know it's bad for them. But despite this, the Gallup poll reveals that 48% of the surveyed Americans, nearly half, drink soda on a daily basis. So they know it's bad for them, but they don't care because YOLO, you only live once. What's more? Among those who drank soda, the average daily intake was 2.6 glasses per day. Okay? 2.6 glasses a day. If you take 2.6 cups right here, 2.6 cups, and you put it into ounces, that's 20.8 fluid ounces. All right, that's 20.8 fluid ounces. That it said that the average daily intake among those was 2.6. So the average, pretty much the average person who drinks pop drinks about 20.8 ounces. Okay, so let's go to let's go to Coke first. Let's go to Coca-Cola and let's go to a 20 ounce. Look at this. In a 20 ounce pop, there's 65 grams of sugar. 65 grams of sugar. Yet people will drink a lot of pop, but they'll eat a little donut. Let me tell you something. Let's go back to this. Look at this. So if I go to a 12, which is a regular size can, a 12 ounce can, there's 39 grams of sugar. That is over 3 times more than, you could eat 3 Dunkin' Donuts and still not eat as much sugar as in a 12 ounce can of Coke. Okay? That's pretty bad. And look at the ingredients. Carbonated water, high fructose corn syrup. All right? That's the second main ingredient. So the most questionable of all sweeteners is the second biggest ingredient in Coke. Okay, so now they say that, so they say it's okay to consume a little bit of high fructose corn syrup. It's okay to consume a little bit of sugar. Okay, that's fine. But they say that an overconsumption of sugar is what leads to obesity. Well, let me tell you something. Think about it. You have all this of sugar in this one pop can, okay? But you know what? You're like, well, that's not bad as long as they're drinking one a day. Drink one a day. But let me tell you, how many people eat cookies or get an ice cream cone? Or how many people eat peanut butter or jelly? Or how many people just eat candy? How many people will just take a bunch of drinks and they don't even add it all together? They just take one can and say, if I drink one can a day, it's okay. But they don't factor in. They don't factor in all of the candy, all of the chips, all of the sweets, all of the sweetened juices. You know, there's tons. There's some juices that have over 20 grams of sugar in it. That's worse than a donut. And that's talking about a cup of juice. Some of it has 20 grams of sugar. Okay, that's ridiculous. For juice, it's worse than a donut. But people don't factor that in. They think, well, I'm healthy. I only drink one can a day. You're not healthy. I mean, for real. But the average person drinks 20 ounces. That's 65 grams of sugar a day. And plus, not only are they drinking 65 grams of sugar, they're drinking 65 grams of the most, like the most questionable sweetener out there that is considered to be the worst. Okay, but that's not even. Let's go to Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew in a 12-ounce can is 46 grams. They're 7 grams even higher than Coca-Cola. And one of their and people love Mountain Dew, and I've seen a lot of people drinking 20-ounce bottles of Mountain Dew. Look how many are in a 20-ounce bottle. 77 grams of sugar. And guess what? Guess what the second ingredient is? High fructose corn syrup. Okay? How about Pepsi? In a 12-ounce can, you have 41 grams. But in a 20-ounce, you have 69 grams of sugar. And look, the second ingredient, again, is high fructose corn syrup. Okay? And especially if you get jelly. And let's go back to Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know what kind of sugar they use. But if you get like a jelly-filled donut, I guarantee you that jelly is full of high fructose corn syrup. So many foods are full of corn syrup and high fructose corn syrup. High fructose corn syrup is the worst. I'm not even worried about corn syrup right now, but high fructose corn syrup, we really need to cut it out of our lives because completely it is junk. It is trash. It is absolutely poisonous. And the fact is, the people who make it question it, even if it was even healthy. But the FDA said it was okay to consume, even though it has no nutrition. It's completely fattening. It can cause diabetes, and yet it's everywhere in almost all of our foods. So maybe a little bit here and there is okay, but the fact that it's everywhere around us and we're giving it to our children, it's not right. And here, I'm not gonna go on much longer, but there is a video I want to watch, and we're gonna watch most of it, but it's not too long. But yeah, just listen to this. This is Dr.
Hi,
Hyman.
This is Dr. Mark Hyman. Welcome to my weekly house call, your chance to ask me your questions. And this week's question is, what about high fructose corn syrup? Is it really that bad for you? And the answer is yes. And here's why. Number one, we're eating huge doses of sugar, and high fructose corn syrup is the most abundant sugar. It's gone from 0 to about 70 pounds per person per year. Total, we eat about 150 pounds of sugar per person per year. That's a half a pound a day for every man, woman, and child in America. And I know I'm not having that much, so probably some of you are having a lot more. And when you eat sugar in those doses, it's a toxin. And the fructose, which is free fructose in high fructose corn syrup, is actually more than the glucose. Now, most sugar is glucose and fructose, and they're stuck together in a bond. Well, high fructose corn syrup, they're chemically altered and separated. And that fructose goes right into your liver, mainline, right into your liver, and it turns on a factory of fat production called lipogenesis, and you get a fatty liver. In fact, that's the most common disease in America today, fatty liver, affecting 90 million Americans. And it leads to diabetes, which is prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. And this is driving most of the epidemic of heart disease, cancers, dementia, and of course diabetes. So this is the real driver. If we took one thing out of our food supply that would make the biggest difference, it would be high fructose corn syrup, because it's just in such a volume there. In fact, the average 20-ounce soda has 15 teaspoons of sugar, all high fructose corn syrup. The average kid has 2 of those a day. And that has an enormous effect at a toxic level, which is the level that we're eating today.
We're not gonna watch anymore. But an interesting thing, he was talking about is heart disease. A couple years ago, I don't know, I haven't looked at the stats now, but it's been a couple years I looked. Heart disease was the #1 killer in America. And guess what was the #1 cause of heart disease? Drinking pop. And I showed you the 3 main brands, Mountain Dew, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. They were completely high in sugar. And not only that, people drink a couple of them a day, and so they're poisoning themselves, but also it is with high fructose corn syrup, which is the second ingredient, meaning it is the second most used ingredient in the whole entire thing, okay? And here's the thing, and the only reason why I'm doing this and I'm talking about this is because Like, Yale did a study. Most people know that pop is bad for them, but most people drink it anyways. And some people, maybe even people watching this video, they'll say, well, I'm not going to give up pop. I like pop. Well, you know what? I'm not asking you to give up pop, but the fact that you're watching this video must mean that you are either concerned in some way or another. But, you know, the thing is, we really need to try to start living healthier. And, like, I don't know, maybe some of you are overweight or fat, but I'm saying that if you give up pop and you start giving up things and sugars, I guarantee, and I'm not promising, so don't keep my word, but I'm just saying, I guarantee that you could probably start losing weight. And you could start losing weight just because you eat less sugars, because it's showing that the reason why people are getting so obese is for the fact that we are consuming so much sugar. And I was watching. I don't got the link, and I'm not going to try to look it up because I don't actually know where it's at. But I was reading this thing where it says, ever since high fructose syrup came into our food and our drinks, obesity shot up by 60%. That's insane. And let's say you're a gamer and you're watching this or something. You know, a lot of gamers will sit around and just eat junk food and drink a lot of pop. You cut out that junk food and you cut out that pop, you can play games all you want all day. I'm not trying to stop you from that, but at least eat something healthier. You know, a bag of vegetables is not that expensive. I'm just saying that we need to get away from high fructose corn syrup. And, you know, a question I have to ask you and even myself is, why do we continue to eat and drink things, especially, I'm talking about ingredients. Why do we continue to eat and drink ingredients that we have no idea what they are, what they do to us, and even where they come from? And that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm starting this channel, is because I'm really tired of not knowing what's in my food, and I know I'm being poisoned, and I know that it's being passed off is okay as long as I don't have too much. Even though they're basing off too much in one product, but they're not calculating in us consuming multiple products. Well, here's the deal. I'm coming up with a challenge, and I want to challenge you guys to this. And I'm going to plan on doing it fully. But I challenge you guys, if you guys want to be in this, I really challenge you guys to completely get off high fructose corn syrup for a week. And not only that, but whenever you go to the store, you go buy something, look at the ingredients and look. If it has high fructose corn syrup, get away from it. Don't even touch it. I give you that challenge. Do that for a week. Now, I'm not saying you're gonna feel better, but I'm saying it's just a fact. It's just a challenge to try to be healthier. You know, and if you make it a week, go longer. Me personally, I'm going to try to get high fructose corn syrup out of my life for good, because I just don't want any more toxins inside of me. I already struggle enough. I struggle enough with other bad ingredients. So yeah, that's just my mind. That's my thought on it. I'm going to do this too. But guys, I'm not going to go any longer on this video, and all the links that I showed you will be in the description below. I'll have all the links there so you can go there and read it yourself, even do some studying yourself if you want to. And I ask that if you do like it and you want to see more videos, subscribe, like. But when you do like, please say something that you would like to see me do to improve, to make you like it even more. And if you did not like my video, please dislike it. But when you do dislike it, please leave a comment and tell me why you disliked it. And tell me how I can win you over, because I don't mind people disliking as long as they tell me why, so I can correct myself. And guys, that is pretty much it. And, you know, I'm Jared the Random. And have a good day.